U.S. women's soccer goalie Hope Solo is being criticized for calling the Swedish soccer team cowards. Solo made the remarks in a post-game interview after the heavily favored U.S. team lost to Sweden during a penalty shootout in the quarterfinals at the Rio Games. She was angry the Swedes had played a defensive game that Solo said stifled the talented American squad's attack. A number of Solo's former teammates responded by saying her comments were ridiculous and did not have class. And to add to the unsportsmanlike behavior, an Egyptian judo player snubbed his Israeli opponent yesterday after his loss in men's over 100-kilo judo. Brenley Shapiro is a sports psychologist with Heads Up Mental Game Coaching, and she joins us now from our Toronto studio. And tell me, doctor, is this behavior typical when someone loses at such a high level? Which case do you want to begin with?
Well, I'm going to say it's unfortunate, first off, that we're seeing this, on a global stage, and with the spirit of the Olympics, just seems to not fit everything that the Olympics stands for. So I think it's just really unfortunate that we have to see this.
I think a lot of folks might be surprised because you would think that when you're in the zone, when you're trying to go for a medal and you don't even want to be off by a millisecond, that really it should be all about the game. And when you read headlines like this, it's troubling to say the least, is it not? It
absolutely is troubling. And what I think is really happening is sort of twofold. I think these athletes are having a lot of difficulty regulating their emotion, and also in terms of their underlying thinking patterns and what they believe to be right and to be wrong. So I think with the two things, the combination of them, just an inability to react and respond in an appropriate fashion is taking over.
Tell me a little bit more, if you can, about some athletes being unable to contain their emotion. Is it because they are overworked due to their training, or what's going on there?
I think in terms of a loss where, they can't change anything, they can't reverse what has happened, it sort of tends to be an angry outburst when they're not regulating their emotions very well. And so, I think it's twofold in this case, in terms of the soccer game, where at the end of the day, it was really a coaching decision. It was a tactical decision made by a coach, executed by a team, and I guess just difficulty in terms of accepting that loss. Where on the other hand, with the Egyptian athlete, there seems to be a lot more associated with that, maybe some underlying political views that really that emotion is taking over, and just the athlete is not able to act in the spirit of the Olympics and what the games are all meant to be about.
And this wouldn't be the first time we've seen behavior like this. I mean, the Olympics have been going on for generations, and it's unfortunate to see, but it's nothing new, right?
Nothing new. I think, unfortunately, if the athletes can't sort of handle their emotional views and underlying political issues, then, perhaps they shouldn't be at the Olympics.
Ah, very, very interesting. Tell me, if you were coaching the woman from soccer, what would you tell her?
Hope you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that certainly she needs to get her emotions under control and really work on that emotional aspect, because certainly she's not presenting herself in a way that's flattering to her. So, it's ending up going against really what probably she wants to be presenting. So I think, certainly maybe just some work in terms of learning how to regulate her emotion and how to present herself in a way that's appropriate and acceptable in the spirit of the Olympics.
Very good advice, I would say. And it's nice to know, though, these are isolated incidents. Overall, the games seem to be shaping up quite nicely.
Absolutely.
All right, Brenley Shapiro joining us from Toronto. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.